Hey guys, Mrs. Fawn here to help you out with the challenge problem that you all had in your practice problems, even though I didn't list it that way. But this is the one where I was asking you to solve for t. So what we're really doing when we're using Gibbs free energy equation to solve for t is to figure out what the point is where we switch our reaction between being spontaneous and non-spontaneous. Okay, so here is the question as it was written. Now, in your notes, this got a little bit messed up, so there was a typo, but I explained this problem as you're going to set it equal to 0 and solve for t. So you should have been able to still get the right answer. But basically, what we're looking for is we're given here a delta H value and a delta S value. And we're trying to find what is the highest temperature in kelvins at which the reaction would be spontaneous. So since we have delta H and delta S both given to us, we only have one equation that uses both of those, and that's our Gibbs free energy equation. Now, we know that a reaction is spontaneous if its delta G value in this equation is negative. So what we're trying to find is what's the highest temperature that we can plug into this equation that'll still give us a negative answer. So the way that we figure this out is we use 0, because the 0 is neither positive or negative. So if we plug that in for delta G, we're going to find the point at which this switches. Remember, spontaneous is negative, non-spontaneous is positive, and that's referring to delta G values. So if we plug in here 0 for delta G, that means we have only one variable, so now we can solve for T. It's as simple as plugging in our numbers and doing the calculations. Your calculator gives you an answer that's around 3,913 Kelvin. But don't forget your sig figs. Looking at our original problem, we have 3 sig figs in this number and 3 sig figs in that number. That means we have to have 3 sig figs in our final answer. Easiest way to do that is to use a placeholder 0. Hope that clears things up for you all. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Again, these questions, if you're given a delta H and a delta S and it wants you to solve for T, don't worry about how or why. Just know I'm going to plug in 0 for delta G and solve for T, and that will give me my answer. So take care. I hope this helped.